Hi, my name is Catherine Haw, and this is the final discussion board video for Communications 212. In this day and age, people travel all over the world on a daily basis. We are constantly being exposed to new air, water, and environments. Anyone can wake up on one portion of the earth and by a quick plane ride go to any other place on this planet. Although vaccinations help alleviate the chances of obtaining infectious diseases, there is always the chance that it could happen since vaccinations typically work in herds anyways. For infections like malaria, there have been treatments found, including one called Daraprim. However, this now unaffordable tablet went from $13.50 to $750 overnight, a total of a 500,000% increase. It should be illegal for drug prices to rise so drastically overnight because the middle class will be so highly affected by the unreasonable rising cost and ultimately taking advantage of those who are ill, which is wrong. According to the New York Times paper, anyone on Medicaid or at certain hospitals will be able to acquire the drug for a reasonable price because of federal laws and rebates. However, anybody from a private insurer, mainly the middle class, will not be able to afford the retail price. According to CBSNews.com, anyone using this drug for a year over 132 pounds will end up paying over $634,000, which is incredibly unjust to the vulnerable patient. This is going to result in seeking other therapies which haven't been to be as effective. In agreement of lack of moral standards, according to Business Insider, Senator and Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders began investigating the reasoning and requesting answers of the drastic increase in pricing. Sanders wrote a letter to the CEO of Turing, the company who produces Daraprim, Martin Shkreli, asking for company information regarding revenue for sales of Daraprim, which was never responded to. It is morally wrong to take advantage of someone who needs medical attention but cannot afford it. It is ridiculous how much healthcare already costs, but when medicine is so expensive for something that used to be so much cheaper, people are definitely getting taken advantage of. Though some may say that this particular drug, which has been around for over 60 years, is priced more around the range of drugs for rare diseases, it's wrong to price something so out of reach for personal profit. If the use of Daraprim continues as follows, the company will be making thousands of millions of dollars more a year, according to the New York Times. This is entirely outrageous and selfish of them. The Washington Post article about CEO Martin Shkreli of Turing Company featured crude comments to reporters about the hikes in prices, saying it's the only way to turn a profit. Due to the fact that this description is older, the patents have already expired, and it will only hurt the company in the long run if a generic company does recreate it. Ultimately, it shouldn't be acceptable to literally prey on the weak and sick. When families are suffering from their loved ones being infected, they have no other option but to pay the ridiculous pricing for the prescription. However, unless you have money or don't and are receiving Medicaid assistance, it will be so hard on families who are already suffering. The government should step in and protect the majority of people in the largest class, which is the middle class, because companies like Turing do not have them in mind. We should not be allowed to be so taken advantage of despite the rarity of the disease because the disease isn't the point, it's the morality of the situation.